The funeral chamber stretched vast and empty, its obsidian walls reflecting nothing but Bella's solitary figure. She stood before the crystalline casket containing Warlord Krathex, the destroyer of Meridian Prime, the scourge of the outer colonies, and according to every species in the Galactic Council, the most despised being in recent history. "You really came," Faraz said, materializing from the shadows. His human form looked tired, dark circles under his eyes betraying weeks without proper rest. Bella didn't turn. Someone has to. The council specifically said no human representative was required. They'd prefer we stay away, actually. Faraz moved beside her, his breath forming small clouds in the frigid air. "After what he did to Earth's expeditionary fleet, 83 souls," Bella whispered. "I knew 12 of them personally." Faraz fell silent. They both stared at the Warlord's corpse. A massive creature with chitinous armor still intact, its 6 limbs folded in death's final repose. Even in stillness, Krathex looked formidable. "His own people won't sing for him," Bella continued. "The Krathani have a tradition. Every soul deserves a lament at passing." But his council refused. His generals refused. Even his offspring refused. He earned that silence. Perhaps. Bella reached into her satchel and pulled out a small holographic projector. "But I keep thinking about what Ambassador Talara said last month. That humans have a strange capacity for mercy even toward enemies. That it unnerves them." Faraz raised an eyebrow. "You're going to prove her right?" "I'm going to do what feels human." Bella activated the projector and soft music began to fill the chamber. Nothing from Earth, nothing recognizable. She'd spent 3 days composing it, blending harmonic structures from a dozen species, creating something that had never existed before. She began to sing. Her voice carried through the empty hall, not in words but in pure melody. It wasn't mournful, not exactly. It spoke of endings and beginnings, of choices made and prices paid. It acknowledged darkness without celebrating it. It recognized a life lived, however brutal, and marked its conclusion with something other than hate. Faraz watched in amazement as Bella's song evolved, picking up resonances from the chamber itself, as if the very station was responding to her offering. The melody shifted, incorporating what she'd learned of Krathani tonal preferences, but filtered through human sensibility, an impossible bridge between 2 species that had been at war. "You're not singing a lament," Faraz realized. "You're singing something new." Bella nodded, not breaking her rhythm. Between phrases, she whispered, "A peaceful song. For a warrior who never knew peace. Maybe he should have heard something like this while he lived." The chamber doors opened. Bella continued singing, but her eyes widened as figures entered. Krathani officers, their carapaces bearing the scars of countless battles. They'd come to witness the humans' audacity, perhaps to stop this mockery of their traditions, but they stopped at the threshold listening. One by one they began to hum, a deep thrumming sound that harmonized with Bella's melody in ways she hadn't anticipated. The Krathani version of singing, Faraz recalled from his diplomatic briefings, was more vibration than voice. The officers weren't singing for Krathex. They were singing with Bella, this small human who'd done what none of them could. She'd separated the warrior from the war. More came. Scientists, engineers, even a few ambassadors from species that had lost worlds to Krathex's campaigns. None sang traditional laments. Instead, they added their voices to Bella's creation. This hybrid thing, this peaceful song that acknowledged death without glorifying the dead, that marked an ending without demanding forgiveness. Bella sang for 20 minutes straight until her voice grew hoarse and the last notes faded into the chamber's recycled air. When silence returned, it felt different, fuller somehow, as if something necessary had been completed. The Krathani High Commander approached, her ancient armor clicking with each step. She studied Bella with compound eyes that had witnessed the fall of civilizations. "You did not sing for him," the commander said, her translator rendering the thrumming speech into flat standard language. "No," Bella agreed. "You sang for us, for what we could not do ourselves." The commander's mandibles clicked in what might have been respect. "Humans are strange creatures. You find peace in impossible places." "We try," Bella said softly. "We don't always succeed, but we try." The commander touched her thorax with one bladed forearm, a Krathani salute. "The council will hear of this. Your peaceful song." She paused, considering. "Perhaps Perhaps it is time we listened to such songs before we need to sing them at funerals. As the Kirthani filed out, Feroz finally spoke. You just changed something. I don't know what exactly, but you changed something. Bella packed away her projector, exhausted. I gave them permission to move forward. Sometimes the living need that more than the dead need remembrance. The council's going to ask you to do this again, to teach them. Good. Bella took one last look at Krathex's corpse. Maybe if we sing enough peaceful songs, we'll have fewer funerals to attend. They walked out together, leaving the warlord to his silence. But it was no longer the silence of rejection. It was the silence that follows music, pregnant with possibility, waiting for the next note to begin. Behind them, through the station's walls, stars wheeled in their ancient dance, indifferent to the small acts of mercy that kept civilization from tearing itself apart. But Bella had learned long ago